guys, welcome to Culture Shock. My name's Anthony.
I'm John.
And today we're talking about Superman.
We just got back from the theater from seeing it.
Well, not Superman, but Man of Steel.
Man of Steel. I'm going to call it Superman forever.
All right. Well, we just got back. I think they only call him Superman once in the whole movie.
Yeah, they do.
That's weird. Speaking of which, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Duh. We're going to talk about spoilers in the movie.
Probably put it in the title of the video.
Yeah, probably put it right there. So why'd you even click on this?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Well, if you've seen the movie and you want to know our take on it.
John, I think they did it. I think they did it.
It was the best Superman movie ever made. I'm not saying that means it's the best film ever made or the best superhero movie ever made in general, but it's the best Superman film that we've ever gotten. So kudos to them for that.
Yeah. I was really skeptical going into it. I was like, I don't know. I can't really tell by this if it's going to be great or not, but damn it, they proved me wrong.
Yeah, I enjoyed it start to finish.
I mean, just saw Iron Man 3. I thought this was better than Iron Man 3. I did.
Yeah. I think I enjoyed it more too. I'm just such a Superman fanboy.
Yeah.
I got pictures of me, running around in pajamas when Superman. Yeah, exactly.
Ta-da!
Just as proud as I can
Towel on
be.
your back.
To me, I have a bias towards Superman as a superhero. So I was just very happy to walk out of the theater going, yes. I'm not, when I walked out of the theater from Superman Returns. Yeah,
I've never seen that.
When I walked out of the theater from Superman Returns, I was just like, fuck. I was just pissed because I didn't enjoy it.
I almost want to go back and watch that just so I have a level to judge it by.
Yeah.
Because this was good. So I guess we start from the beginning. The beginning was a little slow, I thought. But
I loved it.
Watching it full through, I understand why the beginning was a little slower. Mm-hmm. But at first I was like, oh, come on, pick up at some point. But when it picked up, it fucking picked up.
Yeah, I loved Krypton. I thought they did a wonderful job.
They spent a lot more time there than I thought they would.
Yeah, Krypton was a cool place. It was almost sad to see it blow up because I was like, I want to go back there.
Yeah, I thought that from the trailers they were just going to show the boom, boom, boom outside and launch the baby.
Yeah, that's the thing. Russell Crowe is in this movie way more than I expected him to be. Mm-hmm. I figured he'd be in there for maybe the first 5-10 minutes. It's like, I'm your daddy. I'm going to send you off to space. Yeah. And then done end of story.
No, he was Exposition Ghost.
Yeah, Mr. Exposition Ghost.
Excuse me, Russell Crowe, we need you to move the story forward. Okay.
You want to fight? Kal-El, you want to fight?
From the trailers, I thought they were going to go all right, there they find him in the pod, and then here he is in elementary school. Flash, here he is a little older. Here he is on a fishing boat.
Yeah, it was going to be linear. Yeah,
as soon as they cut to the fishing boat, I was like, wait a minute. Are they doing it different than I thought? Okay.
Yeah, we jumped from young to old.
Yeah, I like it.
Kind of like Jesus did in the Bible.
He got crazy in his teen years.
Yeah, when he was drunk at parties. Hey, I'm God's son!
Oh, here's wine!
What do you want, bitch?
They flashed back just to the important parts of his childhood and showed parts that really made sense to the character of Superman.
Yeah, to that story they told.
And that being said, I think Superman was actually, or whatever, the Man of Steel, whatever his name was, Clark Kent, was actually a very weak character. Far as how rounded out he is, I even the way he's acted, but I think it was on purpose. I think the way he was acted, it was just very flat and he's there. I mean, he gets moments of emotions, but most of the time he is
very stoic.
Very stoic.
Yeah.
And everyone else around him, I think, was portraying the emotions of the human side. Everyone always says Superman's hard to do because he has no connection to humans.
And that's false. I've always thought that was a bullshit excuse.
Well, I mean, that's what I always hear. And I can't see a thing like that. Well, you can watch Iron Man, you see Tony Stark's struggle. You see Superman, it's like, what the fuck does this guy have to worry about other than super alien?
I agree with you in a sense. But yeah, Superman's character, it has always been about the characters around him more than him. Because that's his, he's the protector. I
mean, like I said before, after we got out of the movie, I think the main character of the movie isn't Superman, and maybe that's why it's not called Superman. Similar to Dark Knight. They called it The Dark Knight because that movie was more about the struggle everyone was having, not just Batman. Batman was a small part of it. Mm-hmm. Man of Steel is about the entire Earth, basically, as the main character.
Yeah, versus Krypton.
And this is a whole bunch of stuff happening on it. It's not just about Superman the whole time.
That's what I really wanted more of. What they did with the movie was great, but I wanted more interaction with, him and the generals and, maybe some politicians, things like that. Mm-hmm. I love that aspect of the idea.
Yeah.
The idea that all of a sudden, bam, there's this alien on this planet. He's super strong. How do we react? He wants to be friendly, but what's the political process of that? How do people react?
Yeah.
They touched on it, in the movie, but they never really fully got into it. Zack Snyder did a wonderful job with this movie, and it was, I thought it was going to be very stylistic, and I was honestly expecting a lot of slow motion shots, and I'm super happy he didn't do that.
Actually, there was more fast motion shots.
Yeah, no, everything was fast, and it was like, you know, there was sort of like a handheld, sort of like realistic vibe to the whole thing.
Yes, the
shaky cam.
Shaky cam.
There's a lot of shaky cam.
The shaky cam was a little much at times, at least in the close quarters fighting.
And I think that's because, you know, it was big screen 3D glasses.
Possibly.
I'd be curious to watch it at home on a small screen. I think it probably won't jar you.
The payoff at the end, like I was saying, the movie starts out a little slow, and then the payoff at the end, the fight scenes are insanity.
Yeah.
The very first one where he's fighting General Zod and then all the people, I mean, the very first hit of the movie after, it starts out the intro of Krypton, that's action awesome, and then for a while it's just calm and nice, and then, and he's just like, pushes him through all these buildings and everything.
Man, it ratchets up big time.
Oh my god!
More so than I expect. Like, that was another thing I was thinking about that they didn't really touch on. The amount of people that must have died in those fights.
Oh my god!
I mean, the fight at the end was like 9/11 times 10.
I think that actually builds character on Superman.
It does,
because
if they touch on that in the next movie,
maybe,
like,
but
hey, you know, these Kryptonians. You know, no one's going to like them. They're going to be the Muslims, you know, that the fucking Christians hate for some stupid reason. But it's going to be that I don't trust him because he's a Kryptonian. I don't trust him. I don't trust them Kryptonians. What with their superpowers and whatnot. It is sort of an origin tale. You know, we do have to sort of go through the, you know, the steps it is to like we gotta bring this character to the public. You know, it is an origin tale. Yeah, in essence, and we've seen the origin 100 times, so there is a feeling of like I know exactly what to expect here.
Well, see, I haven't seen it a million times.
Right? Yeah.
This is the first. To you, it's new. This is the first Superman. I mean, I know the story of Superman. Everyone knows the freaking story of Superman. He comes from Krypton, blah, 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 blah. They send him in a ship. But I had never seen another movie before.
See, and this one blows my mind. He's never seen the Richard Donner, like the 70s Superman.
We need to watch those.
No, we are going to watch, matter of fact, this is going to be Culture Shock next week. I'm going to make him sit down and watch the original. Sure. Or, I'm sorry, not the original. It's hard to say original, but the Richard Donner Superman from the 70s. Okay. So Superman the movie. Okay. Gene Hackman, Christopher Reeve, Margot Kidder, who we saw the other day.
Ooh, where?
At the Port City PopCon. Who was it? She played Lois Lane.
Oh, yeah. I walked by her and had no idea who the fuck she was.
Who's that bitch?
They're like, hey, you just walked by Lois Lane. I'm like, one last thing I want to touch on is General Zod, the character. At the end, I actually felt a little bad for him. Yeah. Mainly because he explains that's just what he was genetically engineered by Kryptons to do, is protect the Kryptonian race.
There was more thought put into the story, like the backstory of that character.
Yeah, it wasn't just, I'm evil.
You usually find in a villain like that.
Yeah. Usually it's, I just want to take over the world. Yeah. But this one, he was just doing what he had to do to ensure the future of his race. And that's what he was meant to do.
Yeah, he was an insane person. Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for Culture Shock today. Let us know below what you thought about Man of Steel if you've seen it. If you didn't steal it, sorry we just ruined the whole movie for you. But, yeah.
It's still good.
Yeah, and next week we'll be back with Superman again, I guess.
Yeah, we're watching old Superman.
Yeah, but still leave questions below for future topics on Culture Shock, and we'll see you next time. Woo. Say bye, John.
Bye.